I am so bad. Good evening, Carol and John Shoppers. I'm excited this evening. It's October.
Yay!
Welcome. Yay. We've got a full crew. John Shear's here. Raph's here. Oh, he was a surprise guest. John Shear's here. Andrew's here. Raph's here. And he kind of won the t-shirt thing. Which guy just showing up hot. There he is. Good evening. We have a full new October table of comic books. We have events coming up that I did not refresh myself on before I started this. But third Thursday of the month is always Late Night Comics, so that's coming up on the 17th. Yep. Bumblebee's going to be here on that Saturday, Saturday,
the 19th.
So the 19th, right after it, and then we'll get to it in a second. I'll talk to you about it, but we have a signing coming up in November on the 10th.
Yes.
Sweet, that's 3 for 3. So that's gonna be cool. We're gonna talk about all that stuff. We're really excited. Raph's here because we've got a big old stack. You can go and preview show right there. Big old stack of DC All In on the table. It's a special kicking off a new era of DC stuff, which is sometimes a kind of loaded thing to say, and we all know that. But today we're behind it. We're really stoked about it. That's it, right? Yeah, first appearance. First appearances. Oh, Kyle's here too. Hey. Kyle's been very quiet all day, so I kind of forgot he was in there. No, I'm just kidding. All right. So new year at DC means DC logo change. But so on the first appearance this week of Batman number 153, the new DC logo. You'll see it on a couple other books, but it's also the first appearance of a character named Commander Star, who's kind of a tool. I think he's meant to be. And then 2 from Marvel. Star Wars is in an intermittent phase of ongoing series, but the phase is cool. It takes place right after the Battle of Endor, immediately after. And this has 4 first appearances in it. 4 whole, weirdly named Star Wars characters, but including one very hard, very new Empire commander. That was he's got some issues, which is fun to read. And then the Robbie Reyes special of Ghost Rider is the first appearance of a Ghost Rider adjacent character named Phantasma.
Yep.
Thank you. I always look right at Kyle to see that. I look for the nod to make sure I get it right. At the bottom of the table, the exciting little row here is all of the Tony Fleeks books that we like and stand behind and are available to order still, since he's doing a national tour. One of his stops is in Cleveland at our shop. On November 10th, so we got a little bit of time, a little over a month, but we have all for a very long while been fans of the series Stray Dogs. Everybody who contributed to that book nailed it. It is a fantastic true crime story, but from the perspective of some kidnapped dogs, which sounds like it'd be very heartbreaking, and it is, but it's very well told. Very, very well told. So they did 2 series for Stray Dogs. We have the main series and the regular series. Feral is the current ongoing series that kind of takes a zombie trope of storytelling and turns it on its head with the perspective of cats. And then Local Man, which John Shear took a long time to sell me on this book, but I'm really glad he did. Tony Fleeks writes it with Tim Seeley of many comic book series fame. And it is a kind of jamming the world of 90s comic books into the world of 2024 storytelling. Very effective, super good. I just started volume 2, and I will tell you that issue 6 is kind of a weird thing to say, but a perfect primer for what you're in for the whole series. So if you're in the shop, you got a little time to kill, flip through issue 6 of volume 2, and you will not regret it. Then, new last week, but always on the corner of the table while we have it, is previews. Right above that is my most recommended $10. I really like the series Knights that we were gushing about a couple months ago, and that was a $10 first volume. But Rick Remender is my favorite writer. They did a sampler of all of his first issues in volume 1 of Gateway Drugs, and there is literally no more perfect 7 issues collected in this store for $10. Absolutely pick one of those up. Everybody's really supported me on that this week. I felt very hugged. But then I'm gonna pass it up to John Shear because this really cool collection next to it is something he's much more excited about than I am.
So John ordered a whole mess of them. Origin of the Marvel Comics by Stan Lee is back in print, and it is exactly what it says. So it's the origins of Fantastic Four, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, Hulk, all that with commentary by Stan the Man himself, like whole history of it. So you get the whole big giant Stan the Man spiel going on. But after each origin, there's an additional story featuring the main characters. For example, Hulk has a big giant Hulk Submariner fight after his origin. So lots of fun stuff in this. Finally back in print. John has always loved these. These are great. I've got a copy at home from the original printing. It's the perfect primer for Marvel if you just want to jump in and see how it all started.
For only $22.
$22.
$22 for the paperback, which my commentary on it is that I love the cardstock
It's
cover.
beautiful.
And this hardcover next to it has a different cover, and B, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be for John, but he didn't tell us that because he's really bad at putting his name on file for stuff. So if you claim it off the video, if you have a grudge against him, you're kind of taking something out of his hands right there. You can giggle to yourself a little bit.
Ooh.
It's true.
New last week, but still really cool. We'd love to sell it. Is the print collection of Scott Pilgrim. So all 20 years of Scott Pilgrim full-size prints from every issue, every volume. I mean, there's something in there, all kinds of stuff. But it's wrapped, so we want to see it. So buy it, please, and open it in front of us. Image stuff, new image stuff. We have The Deviant is on issue number 8 of 9. So I've been waiting a long time to say it, but it's the penultimate issue of Deviant. I am the only staff member fully caught up on this book. It tears me apart every month, and I put myself back together and get ready for the next issue. It takes 30 days, and I love it. I love it. It's a great serial killer story. It's a great crime story. It's very autobiographical for Tinian writing it, and I'm jazzed about it. So there's cover A. I can't wait for the last issue. Cover the 1 in 10 variant, and then a very creepy Santa 1 in 25 variant that I'm in love with.
I think we've said that for every variant. The very creepy Santa.
There's been a
Because
creepy
they're-
Santa every time.
He's always like
Oh, yeah.
or like the reflection in a freaking Christmas decoration. One reprint from Image on the table this week, in case you missed it. Gromit's number 3 from Rick Remender for that delightful slice of life miniseries. Then we've got some new Spawn. We got Spawn 357. That's your cover A. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the only cover of Spawn 357. Now we have King Spawn number 38, which has a cover A here and a cover B there. Red Coat, which I'm 2 issues back on. You guys should hate me for that one. Red Coat number 6. Am I reading that right?
Yep. Final part of the arc.
Final part of the story arc.
Yep.
Thank you. With a cover B, which we think is an homage, or maybe an homage of an homage.
I don't know if it's an homage. I think it's just a really cool cover.
I think it's just a really cool cover.
Call us on it.
Please do your research. Goog it. And then someone said, I'm going to Goog it to me the
I
other
don't
day.
like that.
And it
No.
really weirded me out, but I can't stop thinking about it.
Google?
Like, I'm going to go Goog it.
That sounds good to me.
Oh, now I hate it. Now I hate it.
Right.
Damn it. Damn it.
Gogurt, which is disgusting to me.
Do you like regular yogurt?
No.
Oh, well then, why would you like Gogurt?
It's like even.
This isn't your platform for this. Get on, go
You started
start twitching. Tin Can Society came out a couple weeks ago, and we really enjoyed issue number 1. But then we got an email saying, burn them, because that was the wrong cover. So if you want to take our recommendation on a really great book, which is essentially Who Done It, Who Killed Iron Man, that's selling it a little short, but if you need an elevator pitch, that's what it is. They gave us a revised cover A. Very heartfelt story about friends. Very fantastic. One collected from Image this week is the most recent volume of I Hate Fairyland. That is volume 7 in paperback. Finishing up this week, right? This is, beginning of the story arc.
Yes.
Okay. But first, big one from anyone really enjoying the Ghost Machine line from Jeff Johns. This is part of the renaissance of that, but a different universe.
I'll hold it up. Just
Beautiful.
to be next to you.
This is why. But Hyde Street is the beginning of their horror series. It's not really an anthology series. There is a running story, but each issue is going to feature stories about the harbingers of death in this story. Essentially, there is a mythical street where our soul or body in limbo as a person who has lived a questionable life ends up, and then one of these harbingers gets to ferry us to the afterlife. But the cool part is they get credit for it. So there's a bunch of weird harbingers. They have weird stories, and there's a scorecard probably at the end of each issue, if I had to guess, but definitely at the end of this one. So you meet a bunch of really horrific personalities, and they're going to start exploring those personalities as the series goes on. I'm so in. This one gives you a good rundown of this character on the cover here, Mr. X-Ray, who is just plain old looking creepy and also kind of a bastard.
Yeah. That's a best way of putting it.
An enjoyable read. A very, very enjoyable read. And the way that old lady goes in the beginning is just so satisfying. That is your cover A, which we love because it's purple. Your cover B plays into the story because of the monkey. Wes Craig is on the 1 in 25 variant for $20, and then the 1 in 50 variant is $30. And we're in, one more. Like we mentioned, I Hate Fairyland is entering its last story arc, which is a long-running series. It's going to be kind of a bummer to see it go. Very dedicated pull list. I think it's the same people who's been on it for the last 5 years.
Yep.
But that's awesome. So they're going to see that come to fruition. This is cover A that we have on the table. Now we have collected Marvel stuff. Ultimate Black Panther with its first trade paperback collection, and we'll get to a new issue of that up here further on the table. Deadpool, Wolverine, World War III, all 3 oversized issues with Kubert artwork, absolutely collected in a beautiful way. I said this when the issues were coming out. I love the way this guy draws Deadpool under the mask, Wolverine and Deadpool fighting. The enemies are freaking awesome. The story in this book is good. It is solid. It is Deadpool and Wolverine against a common enemy like we want. But the artwork is spectacular. See how I put that in the 3 syllables? I meant it. Then we've got the complete miniseries of What If Aliens collected. So it's all 5 issues of that. Invincible Iron Man trade paperback on volume number 3 of that ongoing series, which I think is the last story arc for it. So we're about to switch over to regular Iron Man closer to the end of this year. A rare omnibus on the table. Godzilla, the original Marvel years. Do you know how far up to it collects?
It's the whole thing.
It's the whole run of Marvel's Godzilla.
There you go.
Well, I mean, you know exactly what you're getting from that when you pick it up. One epic collection for Marvel. Did you say awesomeness?
Yes.
One epic collection for Marvel this week. We got an Iron Man one. It's the Age of Innocence. And then we're in a new Marvel periodicals. Wolverine Deep Cut is over. Yes. Issue number 4. Then we got Star Wars stuff from Marvel this week. We're on Star Wars Inquisitors, issue number 4. And then the beginning of our intermittent parts of Star Wars before we get back to some regularly scheduled ongoing series, which we actually don't know what they are yet. So that's kind of exciting.
The Inquisitors is the final one.
Oh, it is?
Yep.
That's the last one for Inquisitors. Well, this is the first one for the Battle of Jakku. It's going to be a series of one-shots and miniseries that tell the tale of right after the Battle of Endor. I don't read every Star Wars comic. Secret reveal that comes into the shop. I really like this issue because it kicks off with a the battle. Return of the Jedi is my favorite Star Wars movie, and at the end of it, it's very joyous, and they won, and it's over. And this one, in the first 3 pages, is like, oh, we're so happy that you're happy, but the rest of the galaxy did not know that, and people are absolutely still dying, and it is awful and scary and weird. And so it kind of picks up that theme, and I think this is part 1 of 12 for all of these miniseries and stuff coming together. So they're really gonna run with the war's not over in a lot of ways. It's pretty neat. I'm excited to see how this ends up. Daredevil ongoing series on issue number 14. That'll be cover A. We've got a Stormbreaker cover for cover B. And I think the variant theme for this month is going to make a lot of people very happy. Doctor Doom is making an appearance on a lot of covers of Marvel Comics. So Daredevil issue number 14. Cover C, if you're claiming it, is the Doom Daredevil variant. Ultraman Avengers is on issue number 2 of that miniseries. We've got a cover A right there. Unfortunately, no Doom on cover B, but there's your cover B. Ultimate Black Panther is continuing with issue number 9. It is the introduction, though not official, first appearance of the Ultimate Universe as it stands now. Their Sorcerer Supreme. And I will say this, shocking good little reveal at the end for them. I was stoked. I might start reading the next story arc of this book. I might. I'm not gonna. Cover A. Here's cover B. And a spectacular 1 in 25 variant for $10. One Marvel facsimile this week.
Yep.
The Uncanny X-Men number 244 is the first appearance of Jubilee, is a spectacular first issue. Normally, I prefer my cover appearances with the character on the cover, but I also really like it when our known characters are reacting to this new character or a situation that they're in. So I'll count it as a great first appearance. There's your cover A, and then we do have the weird to price 1 in 25 variant by Brian Gonzalez, right?
Yep.
Tough one to price. I think I saw, we usually go on eBay, just to be very transparent with everybody, we go on eBay, we look at kind of like an average of the last couple ones that sold, and we knock like $5 or $10 off depending on the cover or the popularity. This one, I think, had one sold for like $175 2 months ago, and then one sold like last week for $60. So $50, it's yours. Please claim it. It's an awesome cover.
Ta-da.
And you don't get them for facsimiles all the time. Venom War number 3, gaining a lot of popularity. I've had a lot of guys walk in the shop and say, you know what I'm really enjoying? And they say it like that, where if I guess the wrong thing and they're going to be embarrassed, they're just going to be like, yeah, and then leave it alone. But they're saying Venom War. They're saying they're really liking Venom War, and they kind of don't know why.
I am fully caught up, and I don't know why.
But Venom War on number 3 of 5, so it's in the middle of the miniseries. There's your cover A. Here's your cover B for Team Dylan. Here's your cover C for Team Eddie. Here's your cover D, cover E, cover F, and a 1 in 50 all art variant for $20. Immortal Thor is trucking along on issue number 16. There's your cover A. Cover B is the Stormbreakers cover. Cover C, Dr. Doom sneaking in there. Venom War has the tie-in issue of Spider-Man, which I think wraps up that Spider-Man Venom War miniseries. So issue number 3, there's your cover A. Here's your cover B. Which one's this?
X-Men number 5.
Why is this number 1? That is confusing.
Let's see. Let's see if they made a mistake.
We got a misprint. Oh my god, this is happening live, guys. This is happening live. Here we go. We're checking it out. Oh! Well, we've got a misprinted 1 in 25 variant for X-Men number 5. But first, we'll show you cover A. Very colorful and spectacular. And then, you know what? Go ahead and claim them. They're on the video. If you'd like a misprinted X-Men 1 in 25 variant, it says number 1. It's not number 1. It's number 5. We got them there for you. They're beautiful. So, do you want to show it without glare? Sorry, I was holding it like a weirdo. Okay, next up. Wow, that threw me off. I'm very excited right now. My heart's racing. Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider on the ongoing series, issue number 6. There's your cover A. Love this cover B.
It's a good cover B.
And then Dr. Doom on the cover C. What's he doing? I don't want to know. Never mind. Maybe I don't want the answer to that question. Yeah. He's dooming. This is why we need to get you a microphone. We got to find 3 of these. Deadpool number 7 is the first solo adventure of Deadpool's daughter as Ellie as Deadpool. And she kind of screws it up. Not going to lie. There's cover A. Next to it is Get Fury number 6, which wraps up the miniseries.
6 of 6.
Spectacularly.
Oh no. Harsh.
Oh no. 6 of 6. There's your cover A. Nice little trifecta here. Ghost Rider Robbie Reyes has a special. There are 3 stories in here, all featuring Robbie Reyes, but it's kind of like stories about Ghost Rider. Where were you, Robbie? Oh, I don't know. I was, getting an ice cream for you or going to the bathroom or whatever. So it's kind of cool. They give you kind of a primer on him after he had kind of a hard stint in Avengers Forever. There's your cover A. Cover B, awesome. And cover C actually has that first appearance character on the cover, so probably a good one to pick up. And then the top of the table is a new X-Men miniseries starting off, which gives yet another perspective of the X-Men's new era. This is a 5-issue miniseries featuring Storm and kind of her new status quo. They give you naturally a pretty good rundown of her experience as a goddess, of her experience as an X-Man, as an Avenger. She is finding a new way to be. The end is a little jarring compared to the rest of the book. The rest of the book's a little ground level. The end takes it to a different plane of existence, quite literally. But interested to see what happens. Just as interested as I was for Phoenix. And I didn't think I was going to be into that one at all either. So, Storm, number 1, there's cover A. Spectacular cover B. Cover C, once again, Dr. Doom sneaking in. Cover D with the logo. Cover E. And cover F is a 1 in 25 variant for $30. And I'm jealous.
Well, no, you get to. We'll team up. We'll team up. Yeah.
Well, it is for a good reason.
Yeah. So, DC's All In Special is a $5 oversized book. It's fantastic. It's massive. 2 stories. The first one is basically the JLA getting back together. Like, it is a whole, here's how we get the team back together. There's a whole lot of stuff that just happened. We'll get to that.
Don't tell them how much Booster Gold's in it, or else they won't buy it.
But, but it's so good.
Yeah, I know. I'm just
It is.
kidding. No, it's
Very
awesome.
good,
No,
yeah.
it's a joyous moment for the JLA, which is very cool. We needed it.
So fantastic. But then it's a flip book. So when you flip it over, you get Ben's favorite part because Darkseid plays a huge role in this, and it's probably the best Darkseid we've seen in a long time. But you really like it because artwork.
Oh, there's so many reasons to like this book. I just figured out it was $5 before we started this video, so I'm like jacked about that. Because you think it easily started like a new era of JLA and been like $9, people get in here. It is a joyous first coming back to a new watchtower and getting a team together. I didn't tell anybody about the membership cards yet. Hang on.
Yeah.
But the reason he's getting to me is my favorite part is that the entire Darkseid story is drawn by Wes Craig, who did Deadly Class and a bunch of other great things. You saw a cover of his earlier, and boy, is it awesome. Like, it is an awesome Darkseid story. I actually compared it to, when I read it on Monday, the Doom one-shot, the Doctor Doom one-shot that Marvel put out a couple months ago, that we all loved. This great just little moment in time for Doctor Doom is the Darkseid gets the treatment. It is fantastic to see him making these decisions that are like on a cosmic level.
That's a great way of putting it.
It's wild, and he is so selfish and weird about it. It's like absolutely the Darkseid story I wanted to read. And to go along with this book, which is kind of cool, and it plays a really big part in the narrative, so I thought this is going to be like a little bit of a gimmick. Justice League membership cards. With this issue, because of the Batman All-In special or issue this week, they gave us Batman ones, but there's going to be some for the rest, a little bit of the rest of the team. So we have these to give away if you get a DC All-In special. These are like nice.
Oh, I'm using it as a bookmark for sure.
Oh,
Say it again.
Use it as a
That's
bookmark.
too close.
Oh, jeez. I don't know. It's my first time with a mic. I'm learning it.
Yeah, we are all going to use these as bookmarks. That's what he was trying to say. Sorry if you broke your speakers. But
You're
please
welcome.
come pick up this special. Take our word on it. We are not people who are just going to blanket into a DC new era of stuff. This has me excited.
the other big thing about this is it's starting up the Absolute universe for DC in a way that we're pushing it because we've read both Batman and Wonder Woman, and we have really liked those issue ones so far.
I'm going to back that up with one other sentence. All of us have read Absolute Batman and Wonder Woman in some capacity. Some of us don't want to read the whole issue. We want to keep pure to a Wednesday. But what we have read is amazing. Please add Absolute Batman and Absolute Wonder Woman to your pull list. We have read those issues in full. They have not given us a PDF of Absolute Superman yet. But if it is even half as good as the other two, holy hoot. Like, we're all in for a really good ride.
And honestly, first
All
appearance of
in.
those characters are in here.
True
So,
statement.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, excuse our long-windedness on a new era of DC, but I was excited about the logo, and it just went up from there. I'm super jazzed.
Yep. So this is cover A because it's flip
Oh, wait,
book.
that's the whole reason Raph is here. Is there anything else you wanted to say?
I really liked it.
Good. Sorry.
So this is cover A 'cause it's a flip book. We have a 1 to 25 variant that's $15. And then we move on to Absolute Power, which is issue 4 of 4. And it is the finale of the whole Absolute Power storyline. Ends exactly how you think it's going to end, with everything going on there. But it does very slightly lead into this. But as an ending for a big, giant, epic story that they're telling, does a pretty good job. But even more fun is I Know What You Did Last Crisis. It is chock-a-block full of new stories. It's one of their $10 books, but it's all stories that take place within different crises within the DC universe. So like Final Night, Millennium, like Crisis on Infinite Earths, and they are good stories. Mostly horror, but like the first Batgirl story is just, I mean, obviously I like that, but it's just a well done story. But the second one with Dr. Light is super creepy, and the artist on that is somebody I've never heard of, and I want to see more of him. It was nice, clean artwork, great stuff. great book as always. They do a fantastic job on their 9.99ers.
I love when those DC specials pay attention to DC history. Like they take into account the eras of the many eras of DC stuff, and this one does exactly that.
Yes, great book. Poison Ivy's on issue number 26, and then we have the fantastic 1 in 25 cover for that there, $15.
So creepy.
DC presents Creature Commandos because they're doing Creature Commandos as some sort of thing within the DC universe. Whether it be animated, a TV show, whatever. I don't care. But Frankenstein's on a team of Creature Commandos with a vampire, with a werewolf. They're all running around the DC universe, and they swear. So,
Yeah,
yep.
they do, don't they?
They do swear.
I kind of thought for a second, like, oh, they just casually threw that in there.
Yeah. So not for the kiddies. So,
I mean,
Bluey swears, right?
so there's your cover
it's
A.
written by Polka Dot Man too.
Oh, that's worth mentioning.
David
Oh.
Desmelchin.
Well, look at that.
David Desmelchin.
Got it.
I
Polka
think
Dot
I
Man.
said that
Oh.
right.
You're the
Yeah.
only person I know who ever said that right.
Yeah. So there you
I
go.
tried.
Creature Commandos, written by Polka Dot Man.
Yeah.
Cover A. Jim Lee did a cover B. And then we have a $15 1 in 25 Jim Lee black and white variant for that one there. Batman new story arc by Zdarsky, issue 153, with that first appearance of the new character and a quote unquote shocking revelation at the end, which, yeah.
Oh my god, you're
Whatever.
so disenchanted this week.
That revelation was not that shocking.
You wasted all your enchantment on DC All In.
I did. So there's your cover A. Wonderful Kelly Jones cover B. Cover C by Tony Harris. 1 in 25 variant for $10, and then a 1 in 50 for 10.
Oh, Tony Harris is so good.
Yeah.
He's doing a series of them too, I think.
It's
Shazam's on issue number 16. He is now all in. Just Society issue 12. It's the final one of Jeff Johns' Just Society, and honestly, issue 11 was the final part of that series. This is an all Courtney issue for Stargirl. It's his, since he's off doing Ghost Machine stuff, it's his final say at DC for now. But he sends Courtney off on a very well-deserved, like, she can go off and do what she wants to now in the DC universe. Cover A, your Tony Harris cover B.
Before you move too far on, to clear up any future questions about DC All In, kind of like we had to do with what was the Rebirth?
Yeah.
It is not Rebirth was, but DC All In is not a relaunch of the universe. It is just a good indicator on the cover of each issue of where to start. So if you'll notice, on Shazam, it's a new story arc. All in, go ahead and start reading here. On Justice Society, don't start with number 12. Not a good idea. But it's like a go-ahead. It's like, we know it's issue 16, we know it's issue 153, we know it's issue number 26, but you can start here if you like this character. Welcome to the DC universe.
Ta-da. And if you have not gone all in on Plastic Man, you should. We're on issue number 2. It's great. Chris Cantwell gets to do his DC story arcs now, and they're wonderful. So cover A and cover B. Birds of Prey is on issue number 14. Start of a new story arc. Cassandra Cain goes undercover, and Big Barda has some training sessions with some new members of the Birds of Prey, and it's wonderful. My Adventure Superman's on issue number 5. Multiverses on issue number 2. The Witch shows up. More characters show up. It's just fun.
Oh, the end reveal is awesome.
The end reveal is fantastic. It is a fun crossover book, and I like it a lot. Nice House by the Seas on issue number 3. And then Catwoman, Trail of the Catwoman, is the Ed Brubaker, Darwin Cook stuff, all in one $10 collection. It's fantastic. You cannot get much better comics than this. As Ben said earlier to me, he's like, you could have put just about any female character in this story and it would have worked just as well. The fact that it's Selena makes it ever so much better. This is Chef's Kiss. This is probably John's pick of the week, Kevin's pick of the week, probably my pick of the week. It's a fantastic book for $10.
It's literally some of the best Catwoman stuff, period.
Yeah. I'm going to pass it on briefly to Roth to talk about the...
Ooh, I got the fuzzy one.
Yeah.
So over here we have in a compendium collection the Grant Morrison Animal Man. $60 goes a long way in the shop. For my $60, this is probably the best you can get. This is like the original Grant Morrison epic. It's just Animal Man, and he realizes that he's in a comic book, and he's really mad at the writer for making his life terrible. But it's great. It's so much fun. All 26 issues are collected in here. Like I said, it's $60. It's so good. If you've never read it, you need to read it. Next to that, then, we have more Grant Morrison. The Filth. It is like the weird like cousin to Grant Morrison's The Invisibles. You don't have to read that to read this. It's all over the place, but it's so much fun, too. It is all about this guy. He has a cat, and he likes to other stuff. But he finds out he's part of the Hand, and they are trying to run the status quo. It's a weird book, but it's also a lot of fun.
Also drawn by Chris Weston,
yes.
so it's beautiful.
Yes.
Like, it might be beyond, like, Grant Morrison's new X-Men, it might be the prettiest book that he's ever put out.
Mm-hmm.
And then next to that, Suicide Squad, Kill Arkham Asylum, full collection for that. Speed Force, all the issues are collected in there. Midnight Mass used to be a Vertigo book, and because it's October, they've decided to reposition it as a Black Label book and re-put it out.
It's essentially the Vertigo version of telling like the Warrens Conjuring kind of story. Like it's a couple that handles paranormal investigation, and it gets really weird because they can draw it instead of trying to film it.
And then right below that, we've got American Vampire Book 1, $10, get you issues 1 through 11. For 4 times as much, you can get issues 1 through 12 in an oversized collection.
What a silly way to put this out, DC. I love you guys. I read all your stuff, but not in the same week.
Yeah.
That being said, they are only going to do the $10 volume with those 11 issues once. Like, that's all they're going to do in that format. To get the rest of the series, they are going to do those the compendium formats.
So, ironically, if you buy Compendium Volume 2, you're going to be missing issue 12. For whatever reason.
You said it, I didn't.
For whatever reason.
Put some numbers on your spines.
More collections. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Volume 9, full collection of that. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Night Watcher is on issue number 2. Godzilla Rivals, Mechagodzilla versus King Ghidorah is a one-shot. There's your cover A, and then your fantastic cover B. Mark Millar's Nemesis, Rogues Gallery is on issue number 3. Cult of the Lambs on issue number 4. There's your cover A and your cover B. Cruel Universe. Thank you for everybody for saying, add it to my file. You've done so. Now we've run out. We'll be getting more back in. But we have a 1 in 10 variant for that there for issue number, was it 4? 3. Next to that, Night of the Slashers, terrifying. Like, it is legitimately, the first 3 pages are absolutely terrifying, heartbreaking, and then you read the rest of the story and you understand exactly what happened in those first 3 pages.
I'm excited.
And this is the book that Andrea and I are both like, yep, this is the horror book that we want to.
should have had a bigger stack on the table.
Yeah, we really should have. So
Magma's killing it.
yeah,
They really are.
Yeah.
Some good stuff.
So I'm gonna call this cover A your VHS cover, and then cover B, which is cool, but not as cool as
It's
that.
kind of like last year when The Nasty came out. We didn't really know how good it was going to be, and then boom, it's Halloween, and this is the book I needed.
Yes,
That's
that's
awesome.
exactly right.
That's awesome.
Barbarella has a new series. We've gotten issue 1 for that there. Shadow Man also has a new series. We've gotten issue 1 for that there.
I'll talk about the next one because you hate it.
Yeah, and then we have the Creeping Below from issue 1.
Creeping Below was a little bit of a sleeper. We didn't really know how we were going to feel about it. There's been a lot of horror stuff coming out lately. Andrew and I both read it along with John Shear. John Shear did not dig it.
Fine.
Well, okay. I thought it was like an animal in the story. So, but Creeping Below is essentially Jennifer's body with
mixed with folk horror.
yeah, Norwegian folk horror to be specific. So
Black metal, magic, mayhem.
very much a black metal based book. Essentially, this woman, I'll give you the rundown because it's a little bit of a tough sell when you're flipping through it. This woman is in a foreign country, probably Scandinavia, Norway somewhere.
I show that page.
No.
No.
It's like a disclaimer label on a CD. And she is interacting with black metal bands without any death metal experience. She's just kind of like going with the flow. This band mistreats her a little bit, kind of making fun of her, but they're like, come on, we'll show you what's up with the scene.
Bit.
Yeah, they're mean. But they drag her out in the woods, they sacrifice her, and her vengeance is going to be swift and bloody. So that's kind of where they leave us off. It's a cool beginning of an issue with some clunky parts, but I'm going to give it another shot on issue 2. I think it's worth a try, and we've got some cool covers for it. Why don't you just flip through? Mm-hmm. How'd you feel?
Dirty.
So, The Creeping Below, great name for a series, by Brian Azzarello, which is very, very worth mentioning. There's our cover A's. Cover B by Lotte, right? No? I got that wrong. Maria Lovett. No, Maria Lovett. Cover C, we're going to call it, but it is the... It was an FOC reveal variant, and then we have the 1 per store unlockable variant with a beautiful black and white. Looks great. So give that one a shot. If you're feeling spooky, I think it's worth a try. Conan Battle of the Blackstone is on issue number 2. Second Conan issue I've ever read after issue number 1, and I'm loving it. Better than McDonald's.
That's my boy.
I'm here to make you proud, pal. The Mammoth from Mad Cave is on issue number 4. We got The Crow back, kinda. It's a miniseries called Dead Time. They are reprints of a miniseries that John True tells me no one read back in the day. Yep, cool. So we've got issue number 1 there and some more on the way. Then from John Carpenter's imprint, it's Storm King. It's Storm Kids. It's called Once Upon a Grub. This guy is trick-or-treating. What you see is what you get as far as that issue goes. Sven Gulli's been dipping the toe in comic books, so we've got a 45th anniversary of Sven Gulli for Halloween. I've got a couple more of these on the way, too, for all you guys dedicated to reading that. I don't know why I looked at Andrea. That's not really fair. I Lie Popeye, which is like kind of a weird manga take on Popeye that we all loved issue 1 of. So it had no right to be that good. So issue number 2 on the table. There's our cover A, our cover B with the big bad there, cover C, and cover D. And then we're getting into some all ages stuff. We've got a new great collection called Secrets of the Clone Troopers. It's one of those like info books, kind of DK style, but we're really stoked to have it on the table because one of our longtime, fantastic monthly customers, Mark Sumarek, wrote it, which is great. He's been writing all kinds of ancillary stuff for Star Wars and Marvel every time he kills it. Thank you, Mark. We're so stoked to have this here. Mark. We'll sell it this week, I'm sure, and then we'll reorder it. We've got a row of stuff that came out last week. So we got the Turning Red adaptation, Disney Fairies, some Investigators, Good as Goldie, because we can't resist cat comics. But then some new kid stuff, or all ages stuff. The manga biography of Charles Schultz is as adorable as it looks. We've got a couple of those on the table to go along with our new Snoopy Peanuts decorations for Halloween over there. We've got a new YA book called No Rules Tonight. We got our freaking pick of the week across the board, Falling in Love with a Traveling Cat. That's the artwork through the entire book. You will not be disappointed.
Give him 1 page.
Give him 1 page?
Give him a good one. Give him a good one. Oh. Look for a second.
Page is a good one.
Oh, should I do the Midsummer?
Ben sat there for 45 minutes today.
45 minutes. Oh, here they are. Cats on bikes. Look at them,
Oh.
cats on bikes.
Fly like the
They
wind.
fly like the wind.
Just show the back of the place.
No, look at all their little hats. That looks like a lampshade, but it's actually Mount Fuji. No. It's my favorite. We should just end on a high note right now. I'm just kidding. The Strange Case of Harleen and Harvey is one of the OG original graphic novels that DC's doing in their YA line. So you got Harleen and Harley. 2 people, maybe not. Next to it, This Land Is Our Land is another YA story from the DC line, and this is a immigrant-focused story of the Blue Beetle, Jaime Reyes. New Unicorn, Phoebe and Her Unicorn. This is volume 20, so they're trucking. World of Reading has a Ghost Spider book for level 2, and then a few new single issues from the All Ages line. Batman Scooby-Doo's on number 10. You got Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Just the main Scooby-Doo book on number 130. Congratulations. And then, as always, Archie coming in with a holiday. Perfect timing. The Archie Halloween Spectacular. where Sabrina has decided to go really, really, really off the wall with her costume and be a witch. That's it. Come in and get your Justice League membership card, because otherwise it's not official. Otherwise, thank you very much for joining us on Tuesday night, and we'll see you tomorrow for your comic books.
Read that all in special too. So good.
Of course.